Hey everyone, welcome to the local garden. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Shane, and we are growing in Zone 8A in Northwest Louisiana. We're at the border of Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, and we are growing in a small space, backyard, urban setting. We're in the middle of a neighborhood outside of a large city in Northwest Louisiana. And today I just want to introduce you to the garden and what we do in our growing space, and tell you a little bit about me. So this here is our side yard garden. I built this little lean-to greenhouse last year. We were gifted the windows, and so I needed to figure out what to do with them. And so we built this little greenhouse, and this was like a little side yard that really didn't have anything here. It was just grass, hard to kind of get into with a large lawnmower. So I fenced it off, as you can see back there, and turn this into a grow space. So we grow in the ground here and then also in raised beds. I've got these little raised beds here that we grow flowers, vegetables in. We grow canna lilies, and then some more grow beds here, and then another grow bed here. And of course canna lilies and elephant ears growing, they kind of pop up everywhere. But I'm gonna show you the inside of the greenhouse real quick. Right here, we have about, I believe this is about maybe like an 8x10 greenhouse. I hadn't really measured it, but it serves its purpose. We will start seedlings here in the next couple of days, which I'm hoping to bring you on that little journey. And altogether, this greenhouse cost about maybe $260 to build. Of course, we already had the windows, but you can see I got them on hinges, and we prop them open for ventilation. But it serves its purpose well, and it has done us well. So hopefully you'll get to see more of that, and we've enjoyed it so far. And when we built this greenhouse, we wanted to make sure that we had plenty of space to kind of pass things in between. So this little window here, we put it on hinges, as you can see, it's on hinges, and it will close and lock from the inside. And then also for ventilation, we have these little windows here that we can raise and let down if it's storming outside, or if it's too cold or whatever during the cold season. We recently just had a really bad ice storm here with some snow, and then shortly after we had a really bad flood which washed away a lot of the mulch. So my plans are to turn this into a dry creek bed. We have another little dry creek bed in the backyard, which I'll show you in a moment. But this is our side yard growing space. And during the spring, this really starts to come alive. There's several bulbs in the ground. I had to clean everything up and cut it all back due to the extreme weather we had last week, or 2 weeks ago actually. The temperatures got down to about 15 degrees. And so I had to move everything out of the greenhouse that was in there. And then everything out here had to be pulled up and cut back because it just all died away. So even the stuff that sometimes winters well, it all died back. So we cut it all back. Here we have the beginnings of a rain garden. Last year we noticed that water tends to want to pool in this area of our backyard. So I planted canna lilies here. We got some bearded irises as well as elephant ears that pop up here. So I fenced them off just for the dogs to stay out of them. But this is kind of what the rest of the yard looked like. It was really dead. I need to clean this out. But if you ever, for low areas in your yard, this is a very quick solution if you need to help with water problems. These really do soak up the water, and they do a really good job, especially during the spring and summer when they're really in full bloom. But I was telling you about a dry creek bed. This is what I'm talking about. We built this just for drainage, and had some rock hauled in, and the rest of this rock I brought it in boulder by boulder from a friend that has a place up in Arkansas. But we built this dry creek bed for drainage, and then during the summer and spring we'll also put flowers and stuff in here. and grow bags and some pots and stuff, and it goes the length of the yard for proper drainage, and it drains out to the front yard and down into a ditch. Then we have grow beds around the edge of the house. Currently these beds only have elephant ears growing in them, and they will be coming up pretty soon. I'll start probably seeing these things bloom and come out of the ground within the next few weeks, typically right before March. And then over here we have canna lilies that we have dug up and kind of cut back just due to the weather. Everything just kind of died back. And then we have our porch area back here that we keep pots on and hang stuff on, and we have some grow pots here, as well as we have areas over here where we grow things, and we'll have stuff growing during the spring and summer. And then around here we have more grow beds up against the house that we have right now have elephant ears, canna lilies, etc. in those. And then finally, this is our main growing area back here. I recently just put this bed in, this raised bed that I built out of fence planks and 2x4s, and I apologize for that dog in the background. It's a neighbor dog that's always out barking. And then this was a 12x2, and then over here we have a 6x2, and this is the rest of this is fenced in, but you can see we have one kind of larger grow bed over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grow beds back there. And like I said, everything is kind of cleaned out, and it was due to the weather, the freezing temperatures, and the rain that we got not long ago. So getting ready to put seedlings in and get those started. And I need to go to we have a local nursery that sells bulk soil, and I'll be filling these up in the next few days. This is our side yard garden, or our backyard garden actually. And then one final look at the greenhouse and side yard, and then I'll just kind of show you the whole backyard, our entire growing space. Of course we have a pretty big backyard, but the actual growing space for the gardens is pretty small in comparison to some other very large gardens I've seen in the area. So a little bit about me. Like I said, we live in Zone 8A, and we grow as often as I can. I am married. We have 2 children. One is 24 and the other one is 20 years old, son and daughter. We have 3 dogs, 3 small dogs. One's a little Boston Terrier mix, and we have 2 Chihuahuas. And we also have 8 chickens. I didn't show you the chicken coop out there because it really needs to be cleaned out right now. But what you can expect from this channel is I'm going to try to do a video at least 2 times a week, and you will see the progress. Right now it's a clean slate. There's not a lot going on. There is I need to plant seedlings, and everything has been pulled up that is died away. So hopefully we can get 2 videos a week done, and mostly talk about it'll mostly be about me gardening and following me through the garden, and then also talking about budget gardening, things that make gardening easier, especially if you're in an urban setting. Most of you probably are. And then if you are not in a if you don't have a yard, learning different ways to garden, especially on patios, things like that. So we'll try some different things. I've gardened on the back porch. The house I used to live in, we gardened out in the yard, in the ground. We didn't have raised beds, but when we moved here a few years ago, we realized very quickly that we were going to need raised beds. I bought a tiller, I put it out there, I got a big garden tilled up, and then quickly realized that the ground was not good ground. We have about a couple of inches of soil, topsoil here, and then it goes down to clay, and then quickly goes down to sand, and then to iron ore. So the ground here is very hard, and so when we were originally tilling up that garden when I first moved here, found out that it wasn't going to work. So the next year we figured out that we needed to do raised beds, so that's what I did. And then some of the little beds here, I have amended them so that they can grow things now, like flowers or bulbs, stuff like that. But the vegetables really don't like it, and even some of the trees that I've planted don't like it, and they die pretty quickly. The water does not drain well here, so we've had to come up with solutions for drainage, and I'll share a lot of that with you as well. And then also seed starting. I do like to start my own seeds. I was just in Lowe's the other day, and one plant of herbs was like $6. And to me, that's ridiculous. If you're going to go out and buy $6, a $6 plant, you could just go to the store and buy your own tomatoes, because that's just a waste of money in my opinion. I know a lot of people, that's the only thing that you can do, and that's great. But if you can start your own seeds, then that's the way to go. And we'll talk about some of that. What got me into gardening was COVID, really. Back in the day, my grandparents always had a garden. My mother always gardened. And when I was younger, I hated it. And so as I got older, I always kind of wanted to do something. I really don't have a talent, I don't think. I enjoy artwork, painting, stuff like that. But there was really nothing that was kind of therapeutic to me. And when COVID hit, that was an easy outlet. I was able to kind of put the cares of the world to the side, and we had a lot of time on our hands. So I went out in the yard, fenced off a little area to where the dogs couldn't get into it. And before I knew it, I had a garden growing. And then I ended up with chickens, and then we had 2 goats. And we were in an urban setting inside city limits with houses all around us. So it's doable, and it's fun if you're able to do it, and you can kind of relate to different people that are into gardening. So it's fun to do. Where is my inspiration? I think I have gotten a lot of inspiration on YouTube videos. I mentioned earlier the Roots and Refuge Farm. I really enjoyed those videos back whenever they were living in Arkansas, and it was a small farm, and everything was kind of maintainable for the normal person and the normal couple. I know now they're on a much larger scale farm, and you know, that's a good thing for them. But for most people, we are only going to be able to grow things on a small urban lot or in grow bags or raised beds. We're not going to have, 20, 30, 40 acres to grow things and have tractors and big tunnels and grow tunnels and things like that. So I think looking for ways to make sure that we're able to grow still with what we have is my goal, and I enjoy learning new ways of doing stuff. So that's where my inspiration, and I also really do like videos from the Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I think her name's Asia. I have really learned some tips from her. As a matter of fact, this growing season, I'm going to be using grow bags, which I've never done before. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works. I'm looking forward to that. I've seen grow bags before, but I really was like, well, I don't know that I would be able to use them here. It gets really hot here during the summertime, and they may dry out too quickly. But she's in the same zone that we are, and she's a little bit further north, but she's able to use them, and I'm going to definitely try them this year. So I'm looking forward to that and kind of see where that takes me, because that will definitely increase my growing space and how I can grow different plants without having to, fill up an entire grow bed for that purpose only. So, but yeah, that's a little bit about me. And I just enjoy gardening. It's just my thing now. I've been doing this for probably 5 years now, off and on. And every time I come outside, I'm looking at the garden, figuring out what I'm going to do, trying to come up with different ways to, make the garden look. I get really excited whenever I plant something and it starts to produce. So I enjoy, that's kind of what I enjoy. So, and you'll get to see that. And then I also want to highlight, other gardeners in the area that I know of. So maybe doing some short videos with them and getting some ideas from them on what they do. That's going to be kind of fun too, and I will enjoy sharing that with you. So But yeah, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. I appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to getting this channel started. And thank you for bearing with me on my first video. It's been a blast.